Guys, how is it going? So in this video I'm going to be showing you how you can create a multi-node Kubernetes cluster locally. So I already have Kubernetes set up on the WSL using minikube. It's currently on a single node because it's just on my local computer, right? So what I'm going to do is add a virtual node, basically use minikube to add additional node, so I can make it a multi-node Kubernetes cluster. So without further ado, let's get started. So if you want to know how to set up Kubernetes on WSL using minikube, I've made a video about that before, so you can check that one out. I will link the video also. I'll put the link in the description so you can have a look as well. So what I'm going to do is first of all check if the minikube is running. Minikube status is the command that I'm going to use to check. So it shows that the minikube is currently running. So the command that you can use to add additional node to the Kubernetes cluster or minikube is by running minikube. Before I do that, let me just show that the current cluster has just one node, which is the control plane, which is acting as the control plane. So if I say kube control gets node, let me say white, use the white character, kube control. So it currently has one node. So what I'm going to do is run a minikube node add. So if I run this command, it's going to add a additional node to the minikube, to the cluster. So with that, you can see it's creating that node, 2 CPU and about 20 GB of memory. So it has successfully added the node now. So let's run the kube control get node again. So what I'm going to do is if I go back and say get node. So you can see it's got the first node, which is acting as the control plane, and it's got the second node now. But in the status, you can see the second node is not ready. So if I run kube control, instead of get node, if I say kube control describe node, and the node name is minikube M02, there's a mistake in the spelling, minikube M02. Now if you come back here, if you look at this, the ready status here, it says here it's false, and you can see the reason it's not ready, and the message it's report, basically the error or message it's outputting, basically telling us that the network of the network is not ready. Basically the network policy, the network plugin is not ready. So and here it's talking about the CNI, which is the container network interface. So for each Kubernetes node, we need a container network interface, which will allow the node to assign IP address to the pod. It will allow a pod to communicate with another pod. Even a pod can within one namespace can communicate with another pod in another namespace, and so that is basically what the CNI, the container network interface, that is what it does. So now, in order to make sure that the CNI is installed or initialized in this node, we are going to use a Calico there's a Calico open source. Basically, the software have a plugin, a CNI plugin that we can use in the Kubernetes cluster. And so, if I go to if I go to the if I say if you type Calico project, yeah, you see if you see this link here, so if you click on this link, it will take you to the main page, and if you click the docs here, right, it will basically take you to the page where you can do the setup, right? So what I'm going to do is basically go to the installing and upgrade instructions here, and I will scroll all the way down and look for Minikube. This is a tutorial quick start on Minikube, so I will click that. What I'm going to do is go to this location and go to the manifest. So I'm going to run this command, the kube control apply command. So I will just copy it and go back to my terminal, and what I'm going to do, let me type here. What I'm going to do is copy and paste there, and I'm going to run this. So you can see it's run now, and I'm going to run kube control get port, and I'm going to say all namespaces. So you can see the Calico controller here, the Calico node here, and all DNS as well. So all of these have been installed by the command above. And if you want to view what is inside here, you can just get this one locally using wget. I think I already have it there. So if you run that wget, and what I'm going to do is basically get rid of the command and try to download this. So that seems to be downloaded. So I'm going to do ll. So there is a Calico YAML. This is the second one. And so if we check this, you can see the content of that Calico file. So we are Calico YAML.1. So you can see the contents of that Calico file. Basically, the whole purpose is just to set up the CNI on the system. You can see the part where it's talking about it's configured the CNI network here. So anyway, guys, by the way, let's see if we are able to if the node is now in the ready state. So I'm going to run control that node, and I'm going to use the wildcard. So you can see now the pod is ready, right? If you describe it again, let me see if I can go back to the describe command. See, the kube control is posting ready status now. I think we are good. So what I want to do is basically create a deployment that basically set up node as a deployment, right? And I want to see if those nodes have been scheduled on both the control plane node and the other node that we added earlier. So to do that, I'm going to run kube control create deploy. Deploy is short for deployment, and deployment is going to be my engines test, and I'm going to say the image of this deployment is going to be engines or the port image engine X, and I'm going to say the replicas is going to be 4. I want basically 4 ports, and let me, just in case there is a failure, I'm going to put it to YAML, and I'm going to try to run it, and I'm going to see and engine anything that's test. You have and okay, that's not tell. I mean, trying 40 parts. So if I say anything else test of that one, so this is basically the configuration that I'm going to use to create the deployment. So all I need to do is run k apply group control apply f anything let's test the camera. So that has created the deployment. Group control x deploy. So it shows me that there are two of the four are ready. So instead of deploy, let me see. So all of them are running now. You can see my nginx test, the first one, second one, third one, and fourth one. Now let me see which node they are scheduled on. In order to do that, I'm going to use the right character. And here I can see the first one is scheduled on the second node that we added. The second one is scheduled on the main control plane node. The third one is scheduled on the second node we added. So they are sort of like evenly distributed across the node. So basically, that is how you can manage to have a multi-node cluster locally for the testing. If you're not working, if it's not a production Kubernetes cluster or cloud-based. So if you want to do your testing locally, you can sort of use minikube to have a multi-node Kubernetes cluster. So guys, that is it. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe button, and leave a comment. Also, don't forget to check out the video that I made about setting up a Kubernetes cluster locally on the AWS. If you don't know how to do that, you can check that out. Again, thank you for watching. Have a lovely day and goodbye.